And so this will be the third time that I'm bringing her up. And I'll just say this in kind of a redneck way. She ain't from around here. And there she is. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good.
All right. So I think I'm right. Your third time, right?
Yep, correct.
And your name is Zuz Foldiova?
Foldiova.
Foldiova.
But I think that's the best one so far. That was the closest one so far. So you're getting better. Maybe the fourth time.
Did you see how I just went straight into it?
Yeah, you just went for it.
So like when you're going to lift the heavy weights, just do it.
Yeah, perfect. You have to have the confidence, right?
Well, I said it with confidence, but then I looked at you with those questioning eyes, like, fun.
Yeah, but you got it. That was pretty good. One more time and we're there.
I'm going to try not to embarrass you. At some point in time, you're just going to go, damn it, dude, get my name right. You're smart enough.
I'm not too fussy about it.
Well, I know you and met you through, I said it before you came on, our mutual friend, Chastity Snowden, through Fearlessly Authentic Coaching, FLAmovement.com. You're one of the coaches with her, if I'm not mistaken. You do the group coaching. So let's do this. Let's go over some ground, some stuff we covered last time, just real quick. And then we're going to talk some changes and some stuff that's going on in your world.
Perfect.
All right. You are a coach with Fearlessly Authentic. You do some of the group coaching, and tell people real quick what that means. Like, what do you help people do, and why do you like the group dynamic?
Yeah. So what she created is like, she had this great idea of coach people in nutrition in a group setting. For one reason, sometimes when people are on their own, they get too shy, right? Some people just work better in a group dynamic. And so she started this small group coaching of nutrition, the fundamentals of nutrition. So it's basically weeks, and every week we just get through different topics, basics of nutrition, starting with counting macros. It starts with education, basically, and goes on with like literally individualized coaching. So don't think of that group coaching as everyone gets coached the same way. It's still like individualized to that particular person, but they all get the same education about it, right? Because the nutrition basics are all the same, no matter what you do. If you're an athlete, if you're a regular person, if you're whatever, the basics are always going to be the same. So that's what we start teaching through, I think, 13 weeks now. If I'm correct, I think through 13 weeks, you get coached on different topics every single week. And then obviously, like, we do your particular, like, for you, set it for you as well. So you can just leave us and go on your own.
Well, and I've kind of been part of that behind the scenes a little bit. So, and I'll put some, what you've said, and I'll add some meat to the bone a little bit. So like 1 week, the first few weeks it was macros. And we learned that you can actually lose weight and get healthier and eat more if you eat a different composition of food. Then we started, as the more comfortable you get knowing that, we learned a little bit about minerals, the specific of vitamins every now and then, the importance of water and sleep. So like you said, every week you guys built on the foundation of what you were doing. Yeah.
It's basically going through the basic habits of healthy living, right? Yeah. So we call them habits. We actually have, now it's December, we do something that's called FLA Holiday Habits. But basically that's pretty much the same thing. Each week you go through a different habit where you have a week basically to learn it, or actually just get into it, try it, and see what works for you.
Yeah. And when I was doing it, when I was like, again, behind the scenes, when you say it's a group setting, but you're going through the individual's needs and then readjusting them weekly. So it's not like you're all living by the same standards. If I'm having an issue with protein, you guys are going to help me with my protein.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the good thing about the group is as well, because you can learn from other people's needs, right? So you might have problems with protein. Jimmy might have problems with like eating too much fat, or he's not moving enough. So, and you can see like what we do in those cases. And if you ever end up in that situation, like, you can apply it yourself. So you just like learn from other people's mistakes, let's call it.
Well, and two, somebody else may be more willing to ask the question that I will not ask. And you've done so many of these groups now. So I'll ask you kind of a rhetorical question. The first meeting or two of the groups, I imagine there's a couple of people that are reserved. And by the fifth or sixth meeting, you see a completely different personality, right?
Completely. And the last one that I did, we were super lucky because that group of people was just like, honestly, that was the first group that I saw from the beginning that they just clicked, right? Like the support, because we all have also like a WhatsApp chat. And it was just, they were all so supportive of each other. Like that's another great thing about it, because it's not just on us coaches, right? So you have that group setting and each person in that group can be like super supportive towards each other. So that's another thing as well. So, but the last group that we had, as I said, like they just clicked, they were great, they were supportive, and it was just like so much fun.
When we came up, we were talking before we came on, and let me just go ahead and ask you these last two questions that we covered last time, because they're my favorite questions. Favorite exercise to do in the gym? Because do you do CrossFit still, or do you call it powerlifting or weightlifting? What do you call what you do?
I do weightlifting, all day lifting mostly at the moment. Like that's basically what I do. So snatches, clean and jerks, right?
Yeah.
But I do CrossFit type workouts here and there. I make a point of doing it at least once a week, so I at least do something different. But it's not CrossFit as it used to be.
Do you have a favorite exercise? A favorite lift?
I like cleans.
We talked about this. Now, a clean though for you is that you're not talking about the clean and press. You're just talking about the clean, right?
Yeah.
See, to me, I used to call them power cleans.
Well, you can call them power cleans. Cleans doesn't really matter, but it kind of shifts. Like recently, because I just started recently started my new training cycle, and I've really been enjoying split jerks. So just like getting it from clean overhead. I think those have clicked recently. So it kind of changes. Depends on what works, what doesn't.
I've said this forever. You know, they said that squats are the best overall body, the best overall body exercise. I think power cleans are the best overall body workout. You're
not wrong there. If you can't squat, I would probably pick power clean for sure, or deadlift.
I used to love squats and deadlifts and power cleans. Those were I love that because I was never a good bencher. I mean, I was a strong, like naturally strong person, and you would think my bench would be like my power cleans. I mean, I was for 190 pounds, I was really strong, but my bench was just never. I mean, I was work out with guys that are benching 400, 500. I'm over here maxing out at 330, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cute."
That's cute. Yeah. Was it a technique, or was it just like you're not built for that?
I don't think it was my technique, because I could get 225 like 15, 20 times. Yeah, I think it was genetics, a mental, and so I'm 5'10", and so I would love the short man stuff, the deadlifts, the squats, and the power cleans. You could throw 500 pounds on there. I'm all day, every day. I would love stuff like that. So, and what's your least favorite exercise? Do you have a least favorite exercise in the gym?
Are we talking weightlifting or just general?
Anything. You pick it. The one thing that you know you need to do, but you hate.
I don't need to do them, but I hate clusters. Have you heard about clusters?
All
right. So you know what the thruster is?
Explain it. So I probably know.
So it's basically with a barbell from your shoulders, you squat down and go in one motion overhead, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cluster is a hybrid between clean and thruster.
Okay.
I'm kind of shitting on CrossFit at the moment because I'm pretty sure that's what they came up with. Like they came up with this movement, but it doesn't make sense to me, right? So with the cluster, you clean the bar and go straight overhead from the clean.
Okay.
And I don't get the point of it. It's been getting more popular in CrossFit workouts, and I just don't understand why.
Do you do them?
I've done them, yeah. I've been talked into doing them.
And you just don't feel they work the power. They don't work any muscle memory.
I just don't see the point. Like you either clean it or do thrusters. Like why would you need to combine it? It's just stupid. It takes so much longer.
How do you really feel? I'm confused. How do you feel? It's a mystery.
I just hate them. They just make no freaking sense. If someone out there can like explain to me that why we should do them or what's the point of them, please do, because I don't get it.
I got to be honest. I haven't had this much emotion from a guest in a long time, and it's over a damn word.
I hate them. Clusters. I mean, seriously.
Hey, make a T-shirt that says clusters with the big X through it, and you can probably make them, kill them like that. Last time you and I spoke, because you are, like I said, you're not from around here. Tell everybody where you live.
Slovakia.
Okay. So my question is, last time we spoke, you had you guys were doing great when it comes to COVID, right? The United States has this big spike. You guys were knocking it out of the park. It's changed a lot for you guys, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Ever since the end of the summer, like during summer, we were so spoiled with great numbers that people would travel on vacations abroad and having, the usual weddings and celebrations and everything. And that's when it really started to hit. And like, I think it is because of our government as well, because they were acting way, way too late, because they were just they just didn't want people to get angry at them for, just banning some activities that people like doing. So now, I mean, our hospitals are filling up. The situation is not that great. We have numbers spiking basically every day. So it's not ideal at all.
Do you know people that have been impacted by this pretty close to you?
Not really, really close. We had a little scare because I coach our basketball team, local basketball team, the guys, and the rule is they have to get tested before every game, right? So they're not in the bubble. They just have to get tested before every game, which is like twice a week. And we just had, I think on one of those tests, 3 guys got tested positive.
Wow.
But those were the quick tests. So we know that they're not 100% reliable. And funny enough, like my dad is the one that tests them. He's a team doctor as well. So it's like a family affair here. Anyway, so even like before he started, he was saying like, these tests are weird. So they're giving like weird results. So on the day that they were tested, I was actually coaching them. So we had a bit of a scare because like I was in contact with the guys that got tested positive, and my dad was just about to have a surgery. So he couldn't, get sick either. Fortunately, they got the proper testing done afterwards, which is the PCR ones, and they came up negative. So that was the closest that we got to it.
But isn't it weird though? As soon as you start, I mean, if you we're 9 months into this, 10 months into this, and now if you say someone around you has COVID, the fear is real. And I'm not saying you should live in fear, but I'm just saying we have been hit with this so much as far as in the headlines that if you hear that somebody's got COVID, you immediately think they're in for horrible things. Recovery rates over 99%, but that doesn't really mean anything because it could affect your loved ones.
Not really. It's just the same thing as, there's always that chance, right? Because at first, when it wasn't so close or so real, you were just like telling yourself, oh, it's only old and sick people, right? But now you keep hearing about younger people that are actually suffering, that they're actually dying. So, I mean, you really don't want to take that chance. And
nobody
you never
wants to be part of that yet. Nobody wants to be part of that 0.1%.
No. And you don't know if you are. I mean, who knows? Like, big chance, probably, if I get it, there's probably nothing's going to happen, right? But there's still that itty bitty chance that probably something might.
Well, you've put yourself in a little bit of a better situation. I did a podcast with a good buddy of mine. He does the Holistic Navigator podcast.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this with him so much. if there's a positive to come out of some of this, and if you've got a positive mindset, you're looking for, even in the midst of tragedy, you're looking for things you can learn, things that make it not as horrible. One of the things that he talks about is the focus now on being more active, more physically fit, eating better. Even doesn't mean you have to cut all the bad out, but moderation, putting yourself in a better place. So if you do get sick, your body has got more energy and to fight.
100%. And I mean, that's what we've been preaching even before we knew what COVID was, right? It's generally known that healthy bodies, healthy minds are dealing with life much better. And now it's just that much more true. But again, to say that again, I mean, there are also people you're hearing about that are struggling, that actually lead active lives.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say
everything right.
No, don't say it. I'm old and frail. Don't start telling me. Even the healthy people are starting to go down. I can't handle that.
But then on the other hand, to put it on a more positive note, you hear about 90-year-old grandmas that just walked it off.
Well, I think that comes down to, if it's your time, pretty much. Yeah. If God wants your company, it doesn't matter how good a shape you're in. You're going to go be. You're going to go.
We all have just that much time left. So.
We don't know what it is. This would be a good question, and then we'll move into some stuff that we were talking about beforehand that I found interesting. What do people there, when you look at America right now, with not just the COVID and but the politics, do y'all look at us like we are the crazy drunk uncle at the party? Do y'all look at us really? Do y'all talk about it, or do y'all just not?
Oh, it's been all over the news. Your elections, guys, that's been all over. Like, everyone's been awaiting the results. Seriously, it's been all over, and we're still getting the news because I still read the news every day about the lawsuits from Donald Trump as well. I'm just like, this is still not over yet.
Texas, the great state of Texas, Texas just filed a lawsuit against 4 other states, and they've been joined by 18 other states. And the reason Texas did it is because the way our system's set up, a state suing another state has to immediately be heard by the Supreme Court. At least the Supreme Court has to say, we'll take the case, or we won't take the case. So it bypasses all the lower levels of court. Because if I were to sue you, that can be handled by a regional court. But a state versus a state, there's no.
It's all the way up.
You got to go straight. So now we've got states suing each other. I think we're setting 2021 up to where 2021 goes, here, hold my beer.
Yeah. I mean, guys, 2020 is almost over, so we need to step our game up for 2021.
We get some peace in 2021, for the love of. Hey, I got a weird question. The vaccine, and I'm not telling you got to give me your political view. If the vaccine comes out and you're offered, would you take the vaccine?
Oh, just give it to me now. Seriously. I can't wait. Honestly, I just want to get back into my life. I don't freaking care. Just give me 5 of them.
Easy there.
Honestly, we've been talking about this because we're part of European Union, and it's in a process of getting the vaccines out. So, I mean, it's not just because of me. Like, I had a life before. I want to go back to traveling. I want to go out and do stuff. I want to go to my concerts that I booked a year and a half ago. But it's also, I have 85, 86-year-old grandparents, right? So I don't want to take that on me, that if something happens to them, and it could have been prevented.
What concerts did you have booked? Anybody we know, or are they local things?
I had Pearl Jam, My Chemical Romance, Foo Fighters. Who else? I think I had 21 Pilots as well. I had Pearl Jam twice. Crap.
So when you go see these, now this is bad memories. You're going to hate this interview. You're like, you go to hell, Clint. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So when you go to these concerts, though, were they in your area, or were you going to travel? Because I know you travel too.
I would travel. Within Europe, obviously. So with me as a Slovakia, like, I have about 6 hours away is Prague. 2 hours away is Vienna, 2 hours away, is Budapest. I would go to Berlin to the show. I would go to Munich to show.
Wow.
Just all over.
You can't do any of that because stupid COVID.
I know. Like, I have a sister studying in Prague, and she hasn't been here at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. How's your mental state? Is it because, one of the things that one of the counter people say is when it comes to shutting everything down, there's so many, we'll talk about it being politicized in a minute, but one of the counter things of that, one of the bad things is the depression is going through the roof. People are getting sad.
Yeah, I am sad. It's not, I wouldn't call it sad. I'm just bummed. I'm just frustrated that we can't do anything. Like, the things that we have planned and the things we are planning are just, you can't even plan anything. That's the whole thing, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just living my life day by day. Like, I'm busy at work. I still train. Like, there's still things to do, but it's just getting old. It's just getting old. And
you go to your gym?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
I still can, which I don't understand still that they didn't shut us down. That's another thing.
I'm about to hang up my heavy bag. A buddy of mine brought me a heavy bag. So I got to drill a hole. Yeah, I cannot wait. Because right now I'm doing this like 30 minutes every day shadow boxing, and I've got some weight now because I can't go to the gym. I got stuff going on with me. Yeah. But I'm the boy in the bubble. I don't work. I have to work from home, and I buy my groceries and then go pick them up at the curbside, so I don't have to go in. And so when I get this heavy bag up, it's going to be fun again. I did that for years. I
go down.
Well, I tell people this all the time. If you don't have the money for therapy, get a heavy bag, learn how to hit without hurting your wrist, and it is the cheapest therapy. And it's whatever the beast you have in the basement, your beast comes out, and then you just feel better.
Yeah. Like, oh, I have this thing with tennis. I used to be a tennis player before.
Yeah.
And I try to go every week to play with my old coach. And it's the same thing. And the pressure of being a tennis player before compared to now, I just can hit a ball and not care if it's going to end up in court or not. Yeah. So it's just like, just hit it.
Hard. Just
hard. Yeah.
Of it. Yeah. I think I told you this last time. When I played tennis, I never did it on any kind of scale other than just fun. Yeah. But my first serve, I tried to serve like like Boris Becker or whatever. I was making the noise, never went in. And then I'm the guy that would underhand on the second serve. So it's either He-Man, and if I hit it in, it was great, or it's boop.
But hey, once that first serve got hit.
Well, here's the worst thing that happens, like a golf shot. If you do one good serve and you get it right, you're going to try every time after that. And everybody you're playing with is going to be like, dude, I'm winning every game, love, because your serves are going out. You're hitting two serves that are going over the backdrop. Stop. You're not good. Just hit it so we can volley and get some exercise.
But what if that was going to work?
That's it. Maybe I'm just one bad way of doing it till I learn. And then I got a career. Back in my 20s, I'm like, I'm fast, nimble like a cat. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I wish it was that easy.
Hey, so one of the things that we did talk about, and we won't spend a lot of time, but I think in America, we feel that everything gets politicized, and we're right. And I hate it. But I just want people to hear that it's not just where I live in America. COVID's been politicized there too, hasn't it?
Oh, horribly, horribly. As we spoke before, we had a new government starting. I think the elections were February. Doesn't really matter. Earlier in the year, and it's just one side shitting on the other side, how they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're just fighting. And even people that are supposed to be working together are just fighting against each other. We have this really, really badass president that we all love. Like, if you want to Google her, she's gorgeous. That's one thing. She's a female, and she's super smart. And like, she's that little bright light in all this mess that's going on. And we're just trying to really because as I said, like each side, they're just like fighting on who would do it better. And no one's really coming with any real solutions. And we're just like sitting here and watching like, okay, this is not working.
Yeah, one thing that frustrates me, and it sounds like you're going through a little bit of it too, is when everybody that believe, like for instance, I'm a Republican or conservative, right? So we have a tendency now as human beings that I'm not going to hold my side accountable for all the bad stuff we do because I have to be a team player. But I can talk about how bad your team is. Even if you're doing the same stuff I'm doing, I've got to make an excuse for why my team does it, and I've got to make you look like the devil instead of holding our own parties accountable for the bullshit we do.
I'm laughing because you literally described our prime minister, who is like the highest person in the state, right? He's the top. He's like your president, right? And it's just, we watch these press releases basically every single day where he is blaming everyone from like left to right, middle, top, bottom. It's just not him. It's never him. Everyone's against him. Everyone's trying to, you know, kick his ass and make him fail while people are actually dying in the world or in the country. So that's literally what it is. Like, people just need to own up to their shit.
So, and if me and you were talking and we weren't on video and you and I had a disagreement about some stuff, I think it would be you would be more inclined to trust me if you knew I was going to hold myself accountable and say, you know what, my team shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. It doesn't reflect what I personally believe. That kind of sucks. When you can actually be critical of your own point of view or those in your own side, then it opens up to trust each other. Other than that, I can't trust you.
Exactly. Like that's exactly what it is. Like, nothing's ever black and white, right? There are always gray areas, and it's not either good or bad. It's always going to be something in the middle. And that's where we need to meet, I think, every single person. Because like, we're all, as we spoke, we're all in this together, right? Yeah. It's like, doesn't really matter if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, like
what are the 5 parties that you pick?
Oh, Jesus, I didn't even know.
I was talking to you beforehand. And the reason I asked the question is I think it's good for people here to realize what we experience is not unique to the United States. Yeah. These things are politicized around the world. And I think it's good for us to realize y'all look at us like we're born again idiots because we're like, you guys have a great country. Why are y'all totally screwing it up like this? And then it's also good, though, for me to learn that you have 247 different parties.
Yeah.
Just 5, don't you? 4 or 5?
I think we have 5 that are actually in the government now that are actually ruling. But then you have the opposite side as well, which is another probably 5, 6. So
really? But they have to sign a contract, right?
What is it?
Didn't you say they have to sign a contract or an agreement or something with each
other? Yeah, so the party or the side that wins, so you have one party that basically wins the elections, and their job is basically to find someone that shares their ideals and create a government. Unless they got so many votes that they don't need anyone.
Yeah.
So so if you didn't get enough votes, enough seats in the parliament, you have to make treaties and sign all these contracts with other parties. So you have enough seats and enough votes to be able to, govern.
It seems to me that process, well, it's our process too. Our process here is every 4 years we have an election, but it's almost like the last 4 elections, last 20 years, to be honest with you. It's like we're always in election mode. I would imagine when it's that complicated, by the time something gets elected to all this is in place, it's time to run again.
Yeah, exactly. And especially now when the time is not completely, no one knows what's going to happen. And especially now, like the parties that are not in the power anymore, they're already starting their campaign just in case something happens earlier or we get to the elections in 4 years. So they're already campaigning, and we just had elections in February.
We make it so complicated as human beings. No wonder some of us just go, I just want to eat my protein, lift the weights, laugh with my friends, maybe get a hug every now and then, hold hands, and move on.
I just want to go. I just want to hang out with my friends, train, work, and just like,
All right.
my dog's happy. Like, let my
Here we
dogs
go.
happy.
What kind of dog do you have again?
I have a beagle, and
that's right.
and then Elsa is just whatever.
A mutt.
Yeah.
Did you participate in the last few months in like a national weightlifting competition?
I did. It was 2 months ago. Yeah, about. And yeah, I finished second.
What was the name of it? Was it a national thing?
It was a national. Yeah, it was nationals.
Well, you didn't go into depth on that. So tell me what lifts are included in that.
So it's weightlifting or Olympic lifting, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
So what we talked about, clean and jerk and snatch. So you start with snatches and then you get into clean and jerks. Yeah.
And you lost by how many points?
By 4. It was my fault.
Why was it your fault? Did you not go high? Could you have done better?
No, so me and this girl, we went head to head, and basically what happened, I think, because you get 3 lifts, right?
Right.
You get 3 attempts, and I think she already finished her snatches. She snatched 78 on her last attempt, which tied my attempt as well. But I had 1 more to go. So I had to get 79 or 78 over, I think. No, 79 and higher. So I went for 80 and on my last attempt, and I just missed it. It was so close. So that meant that going into clean and jerks, we went basically with the same weight. So again, same starting point. And then clean and jerks, I think, if I remember correctly, I got 93. She got 93. Then it was my turn, and I missed 96 kilo attempt. And then she missed hers. So I went for... so I went for another attempt at 96, and I missed that one as well. But she raised up to 97, I think, and she made hers.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But you know her, and y'all are kind of friends, so it's okay.
Yeah, we're friends. She's my client. I did her nutrition, and yeah, so
no really, the fact that she won was probably due to a lot of the training that you had given her, right?
I'm pretty sure, because she was, if I can say, she was severely under eating before, so I just kept feeding her, and that made her strong.
Well, okay, so we'll bring it back around. So to the conversation, you do group coaching, and that is one of the things I alluded to it at the beginning. But in all seriousness, whether you're an athlete training for something like what you were doing, or you're just somebody that may say, okay, I'm 30 pounds overweight, my joints are hurting, I think people would be surprised when they come to a group coaching session like yours that you will probably may not. There's going to be deficit eating as well, which will make you grumpy. But there is the opportunity that you can learn to eat more while you lose weight.
100%. And especially if we're talking, what is it?
I said it's crazy if you think about it. Most people wouldn't think that.
It's insane. And I keep learning it. It's something that I've known for a while, but it still keeps surprising me. So if I had to put it in numbers, I would probably say 90% of people that come to me, they're severely under eating. And they keep telling me that, oh my God, I'm eating so much, I have to stop eating. And when I look at what they're actually eating, it's just I'm not surprised they can't lose weight, because there's nowhere to go from what they're eating. So what we need to do is just reverse them back up and start eating more. And this is literally a huge majority of people. They're just not eating.
What's the thinking behind? Okay, so if I eat more, is it when you eat less and restrict it, does your body just automatically go into, well, we're not going to get a lot of food. We're going to store all this because the body goes into survival mode? I
wouldn't call it a survival mode. I don't really.
What's behind it?
Let's call it, quote, quote, a slower metabolism. So it's the adaptation of your body. So if you keep feeding it much less than it actually needs, it's going to adapt its energy expenditure so it doesn't actually die or starve, to what you're feeding it. So the only way from there is basically show your body that, okay, we're not in a starvation mode. There's actually food available, so we can speed up that metabolism and start doing all these things that we were, shutting off in our body, and be healthy again.
Yeah, I encourage people, if you're watching this video now or down the road, flamovement.com, right? I think that's the website.
Correct.
I'd go there and find out more about the group sessions with Chastity and with Zuz and the other coaches, because you guys have some new coaches that have come on board too.
We do. So exciting.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And I would encourage people to go check it out, just because it is okay to sit in a group. And if you don't feel like saying anything at first, but you want that, you need that atmosphere, you can sit in the corner a little bit. I will be honest though. Just tell everybody straight up. I want everybody to look me in the eye in this video. We'll just act like Zuz in here. The before pictures are painful.
They are.
Do them anyway. They suck.
Yeah. 100%. No one wants to do them. No one. It literally takes so much effort to get people take those. But down the line, in 2 months, in 3 months, when you look back, you'll be like, what the hell?
When I first sent mine in, just so you know, and she'll tell you this, I actually sent in pictures of what I wanted to look like again, which were for use before, just so she would know. I grew up in a gym and ran a gym. I haven't always been a fat ass, so here's what I used to look like, and I want to get back to that. I sent my after pictures in before my before pictures, and it was one of those, just kind of, can you look at it quick like this? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. I keep telling some of the people, like, just, if you're really, really ashamed, just take the picture for yourself. Don't upload it to my file. Don't show it to anyone. Just have them on your phone, because we're going to take more pictures. They're for no one. They're just for you. And then if you feel comfortable, 3 months down the road, we can both look at them. Yeah.
Well, and let's be honest. I've known Chastity a little while, and you can go read her story. Her body over the last 10, 15 years has changed 3, 4, 5 times. And I'm sure so has yours.
Oh, 100%. Like crazy. If I pulled up my pictures, I've been home like 2 years from Australia now. If I pulled up my pictures, what I look like when I got home or left Australia, like, it's a completely different person.
Did you like living in Australia?
I loved it. I miss it. It's far. It's super far. I loved it. But I wish it was closer. So it wasn't that. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember if I had this conversation with you or Renee, and then we'll get off here. Did you go to New Zealand?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But Renee is from New Zealand.
Yeah,
her family lived there. So
I've got some friends that have been to New Zealand, and they have said, if you ever have a 3 or 4 week stint, go to New Zealand.
Yeah, I would love to. We were planning on it, but we didn't get enough time at last. So it's fine. I'll be back.
You're young.
When the COVID's over.
Yeah, you're young. You got all time. Here's the best case for you. If you can get, what's your favorite one? Is it Pearl Jam?
Yeah, I do like Pearl Jam. Foo Fighters, Pearl Jam, all that kind of stuff.
If they could have a concert in New Zealand that you could go to, that would be best case.
Yeah, 100%. I'm willing to travel to concerts for sure. That's what I've been doing. I love it.
I'm old and tired. If my concert comes to my living room, I'll go watch it. If not,
I'll tell you a secret though. I'll do it on my own. I go to concerts by myself. It's the best freaking thing ever. Seriously. Because I can get right up front, because everyone thinks that I'm just going to meet someone up front. And if you want to get up front, like 3 people, there's no way you're doing that as one person.
Wow. See, and I go to movies by myself. Like when we used to have movies and we could go without COVID.
Yeah,
I go to movies and
people do that. I've never done that.
Oh, really?
No.
But you'll go to concerts by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
See, I think though that's still a good sign though, because I'm a big believer that if you're going to love or like other people in this world, you have to love or like yourself, and you only do that where you spend time with yourself.
I love being by myself. Not always, obviously. Like, we're social, we're people, we're human, but doing things on my own, I actually enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah, I live by the meme that there's going around now. It's that face that's got the surprise look. when you find out quarantine life is just your regular life. That's my world
exactly.
right now. Hey, listen, I know you're super busy and I know you have training stuff coming up. I appreciate you coming on. FLAmovement.com, Fearlessly Authentic Coaching. And I wish you the best of luck. If you're okay with this, maybe after the holidays, we'll get you back on to see how things are.
Perfect. Always.
I wish you, I hope you stay healthy, and I wish you the very best.
You too. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody.